Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This right here, this thing we call love, it's often misunderstood. See, most people out here think love is about desire. They think it's about that spark, that chemistry, that heartbeat racing when you see somebody. But I'm here to tell you tonight, this ain't desire. This is a connection of souls. And there's a difference. Real connection is deeper than attraction. It's about spiritual alignment, not just physical chemistry. When two people meet, the world often focuses on the surface, how they look together, how they smile, how they touch. But what really matters goes beyond what the eyes can see. Attraction may pull you close for a moment, but connection holds you for a lifetime. Attraction is of the body, but alignment, that's of the soul. It's when two energies meet and move in harmony, when two hearts beat to the same rhythm without even trying. You can't fake that. You can't manufacture that. It's something that happens naturally, quietly, and powerfully, like a river finding its path back to the sea. You see, attraction can make you curious about someone, but spiritual connection makes you believe in them. It's when you feel seen, even when you haven't said a word. It's when you feel peace in their presence instead of pressure to impress. It's when you're not afraid to show your flaws because you know they won't run away. They'll reach in and help you heal. That's what alignment does. It takes two imperfect souls and creates a perfect harmony. You don't have to fight for their attention or chase their affection because your souls already recognize each other. You've met before, maybe not in this lifetime, but somewhere in the echo of eternity. When you experience that level of connection, the world slows down, the noise fades. You're not comparing them to anyone else, and you're not trying to be anything but yourself, because deep inside, you know this person isn't just passing through your life. They're part of your journey. They don't come to complete you. They come to reflect you, to mirror your strengths, expose your wounds, and help you rise into your highest self. That's the beauty of spiritual alignment. It's not always comfortable, but it's always transformative. Physical chemistry might make your heart race, but spiritual connection makes your heart rest. You can lie beside someone for hours without saying a word and still feel like you've said everything. You can look into their eyes and feel 1,000 unspoken promises. That's not fantasy, that's frequency. When souls align, communication moves beyond words. You start to feel what they feel, sense when something's wrong, and celebrate their joy as if it's your own. You become extensions of each other's energy, not out of dependency, but divine connection. People often chase attraction, thinking it will fill their emptiness, but real connection doesn't come from need. It comes from wholeness. It's two complete souls choosing to walk together, not because they must, but because they want to. That's the difference. Desire fades when life gets hard, but alignment stands strong. It doesn't waver with distance, time, or circumstance. It simply is. Because when you find someone who aligns with your soul, you've found more than love. You found a mirror of your spirit, And that, ladies and gentlemen, is far deeper than desire. It's divine. When two souls connect, communication flows without words. You just feel understood. It's one of those rare experiences in life that doesn't need to be explained. It's simply felt. You could be sitting in silence, and yet there's a whole conversation happening through your energy, your eyes, your presence. You don't have to say, "I miss you," because they already know. You don't have to explain your moods or defend your emotions because somehow they just get it. It's like both of your hearts speak a private language that no one else in the world can hear. That's the kind of connection that doesn't rely on talking. It relies on feeling. When a person's soul understands yours, every interaction carries meaning. Their laughter lifts your spirit. Their pain stirs something in you that you can't ignore, and their silence becomes louder than words. It's not about reading minds. It's about reading energy. You start to notice things, the slight change in tone, the pause before they speak, the look in their eyes when they're holding something back. You don't push them to open up. You create a space where they feel safe enough to. That's the power of soul connection. It doesn't force understanding. It allows it to unfold naturally. This kind of understanding goes beyond human logic. It's spiritual. It's that invisible thread that connects you even when you're miles apart. You'll think of them, and suddenly they'll call. You'll feel a wave of emotion, and later find out they were going through something at that exact moment. Some might call it coincidence, but when souls are connected, there are no coincidences. There's only alignment. The universe whispers through that connection, keeping both hearts tuned to the same frequency. And here's the beautiful part: when communication happens soul to soul, it's always honest. There's no pretending, no acting, no trying to be perfect. You can be raw, messy, vulnerable, and still feel safe. You don't fear being misunderstood because your essence is already known. It's like finding home in another human being. You can talk for hours and never run out of things to say, or sit quietly and still feel full. Because connection doesn't depend on noise, it depends on presence. When you've experienced this kind of connection, ordinary relationships will never satisfy you again. You start craving depth over drama, peace over passion, truth over thrill, because you know what it feels like to be truly seen. You realize love isn't about grand gestures or perfect words. It's about energy that flows naturally between two people who are in sync with each other's soul. You can't fake that. You can't force that. It either exists or it doesn't. When communication happens through the soul, even your silence speaks. You might go hours or days without talking, but the connection never fades. It's always there, steady, patient, alive, because when two souls understand each other, distance and time lose their power. What remains is pure connection, unshakable, unspoken, and everlasting. Desire fades with time, but a soul connection grows stronger through life's storms. When you first meet someone, it's easy to be swept away by the thrill, the spark, the excitement that makes your heart race. That's desire. It burns bright, but it burns fast. It's like a firework lighting up the sky for a moment only to disappear into darkness. But a soul connection, that's a steady flame. It doesn't explode, it endures. It's the kind of warmth that stays through the cold nights, the kind that lights your path when life feels uncertain. It doesn't need constant feeding or validation because it's built on something real, on truth, understanding, and faith. When you're connected by the soul, time doesn't weaken the bond, it refines it. You grow through the arguments, the distance, the disappointments. You start realizing that love isn't proven when things are easy, it's proven when things get hard. Because the storms will come, they always do. Life will test you, tempt you, and stretch you thin. But when your connection is spiritual, those storms don't destroy you, they strengthen your roots. You start to see that love isn't about avoiding pain, it's about growing through it together. And when two souls are aligned, they don't give up just because the weather changes. They hold on tighter, they fight harder, they believe deeper. Desire is about what you want from someone. A soul connection is about what you build with someone. Desire says, I need you to make me feel good. Connection says, I want to grow with you even when it hurts. Desire wants pleasure. Connection wants purpose. That's why so many relationships fail, because they start with fire but have no foundation. The heat feels good at first, but without substance, it burns out fast. A soul connection, though, is grounded. It's not about constant excitement. It's about peace that doesn't waver. It's knowing that no matter how hard life gets, you've got someone who sees your spirit and still chooses to stay. And the beauty of it is, the longer you're connected to that person, the more the bond deepens. You start to understand each other's silence, respect each other's pain, and celebrate each other's victories like your own. The relationship matures like fine wine, richer, wiser, more powerful with time. Even when the passion cools, the respect remains. Even when words fall short, understanding speaks louder. You start realizing that love isn't about how you feel every day. It's about what you decide every day. And when that decision comes from the soul, it never fades. So yes, desire fades. That's its nature. But a soul connection, that's eternal. It survives distance, silence, and change. It's the kind of bond that doesn't just survive storms. It learns to dance in the rain. Because when two souls are truly connected, the weather may change, but the love never does. You don't chase a soul connection. It's natural, peaceful, and meant to be. In a world where everyone is running after something or someone, there's a deep calm that comes when you finally realize that what's meant for your soul will never require you to beg for it, force it, or chase it. Real connection doesn't play hide and seek. It simply finds you when the timing is right. You don't have to perform, pretend, or prove your worth. When two souls are aligned, the energy flows effortlessly. There's no confusion, no anxiety, no guessing games. It feels like breathing, natural and free. You meet someone, and suddenly it feels as if you've known them forever. There's peace where there used to be pressure, and that peace tells you everything you need to know. When you chase people, it's usually because your heart is trying to fill a void. You want validation, attention, or comfort. But a soul connection doesn't come to fill your emptiness. It comes to remind you that you were never empty in the first place. It's not about possession or control. It's about harmony. You can let go and it won't fall apart. You can give space and it will still grow. You don't have to chase what's already running toward you. That's the difference between attachment and alignment. One drains you, the other nourishes you. When something is right for your soul, it won't make you feel anxious. It will make you feel at home. Chasing love often leads to exhaustion because it's rooted in fear. Fear of being alone, fear of missing out, fear of not being enough. But when you're connected on a soul level, that fear disappears. You trust the flow. You understand that real love doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be recognized. The right energy always returns. The right person always stays. You stop fighting for attention and start resting in mutual understanding. You learn that what's divine can never be forced because it's already written in your story long before you met. When you stop chasing, you create space for peace to enter. You allow yourself to receive what's real instead of running after what's temporary. You learn that love should never feel like a race. It should feel like rhythm. When it's right, it doesn't rush. It unfolds naturally, gently, and beautifully. You find yourself smiling without reason, calm without reassurance, and secure without control, because your soul finally recognizes that it's in the presence of something pure. A soul connection is effortless because it's not built on effort. It's built on energy. It's not about trying harder. It's about being in tune. You don't chase alignment, you live in it. And once you experience that kind of peace, you'll never settle for chaos again. You'll understand that love isn't supposed to be a chase. It's supposed to be a calm recognition that what's meant for you will always find its way naturally and peacefully, just like it was always meant to. The right soul doesn't complete you. It awakens you to who you already are. For so long, people have been told that love is about finding someone who completes them, that they're half a person waiting for another half to make them whole. But that's not true love. That's dependency dressed as romance. Real love, the kind that's born of the soul, doesn't come to fill your gaps. It comes to open your eyes. It awakens the part of you that's been sleeping, the strength that's been hiding, the purpose that's been waiting to rise. The right soul doesn't rescue you from yourself. It helps you return to yourself. When you meet that person, you don't feel smaller beside them. You feel expanded. You grow, you evolve, and you finally start becoming who you were always meant to be. A soul connection doesn't say, "You need me." It says, "You already have everything inside you." And that's powerful because love built on need is fragile. It cracks when life gets heavy. But love built on awareness is unbreakable. The right person doesn't try to change you into who they want. They help you discover the beauty of who you already are. They hold up a mirror to your soul and show you your light, even when you've forgotten how to see it yourself. You begin to feel stronger, more confident, more at peace. That's what happens when love comes from a higher place. It doesn't drain you, it empowers you. When a soul connection enters your life, it doesn't feel like you're losing yourself. It feels like you're finding yourself. You begin to understand your emotions better, your boundaries clearer, and your dreams deeper. You stop living to please and start living with purpose. The right soul doesn't dim your shine to make theirs brighter. They help you burn even more boldly. They remind you that you were never broken, only growing. You realize that love isn't supposed to save you from the storm. It's supposed to teach you how to dance in it. And when someone loves you from the soul, their presence itself becomes healing. You feel safe enough to be your truest self, unfiltered, imperfect, and real. It's easy to think love is about finding someone who makes you happy, but the truth is deeper. The right soul doesn't just make you happy, they make you aware. They bring light to your blind spots, challenge your fears, and inspire your growth. Sometimes that awakening comes with discomfort, but it's necessary because awakening means transformation, and transformation means stepping into the fullness of your being. When love awakens you, you stop searching for completion outside of yourself. You realize that you are already whole, and the right soul simply helped you see it. They didn't come to fix you. They came to remind you of your power, your worth, and your divine purpose. That's what true connection does. It doesn't complete you, it calls you home to yourself. When you meet that person, it's not about needing them. It's about recognizing them. There's a moment when two souls cross paths and something inside you just knows. You can't explain it, you can't rationalize it, but deep in your spirit, there's a quiet voice that says, it's you. It's not about desire, not about infatuation, not about need. It's recognition, as if you've met before in a life that your mind can't remember, but your heart never forgot. You don't feel obsessed or desperate to hold on. Instead, you feel calm, grounded, and certain, because real connection isn't built on possession, it's built on purpose. It's not about needing someone to fill your emptiness, but about seeing yourself reflected in another soul. When you recognize someone on that level, it feels like coming home. Their energy feels familiar, their presence feels safe, and their words feel like echoes of thoughts you've always had but never said out loud. You don't need to explain who you are because they already see it. You don't have to hide your past because they understand it. And you don't need constant reassurance because something about them just feels true. That kind of recognition doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the spirit. It's the soul remembering something that the body forgot. Needing someone comes from fear, but recognizing someone comes from love. When you need, you cling. When you recognize, you connect. Needing says, I can't live without you. Recognition says, I'm better because of you. One drains, the other inspires. And when you meet that soul you recognize, you'll notice how different it feels. You're not trying to impress them or win them. You're simply present authentic and open. You don't chase them because you understand that what's meant for you won't require force. You just know that somehow this person is part of your story. There's peace in recognition. It's not chaotic. It's not uncertain. It just feels right. Even if life keeps you apart for a while, you carry their energy with you. It's like an invisible bond, one that doesn't fade with distance or time. You can go months without speaking and still feel connected because real recognition doesn't rely on constant contact. It lives in memory, in energy, in faith. It's deeper than logic. It's divine timing at work. When you meet the soul you recognize, they remind you what love was always meant to feel like: peaceful, empowering, and freeing. You stop needing to hold on tightly because you understand that real love doesn't bind, it liberates. It doesn't demand, it accepts. It doesn't complete, it complements. That's how you know it's not need. It's truth. And once you've experienced that kind of connection, you can never confuse recognition with need again. Because when your soul recognizes another, it's not about finding someone new. It's about remembering someone eternal.